I don't think this is a common or uncommon question by the fan base. But ever since Equestria Girls came out, one thing a lot of fans have been wondering, especially now, is where does a lot of what we've seen or what the fans have seen with Equestria Girls, when does it all take place? What seasons, what time frames do these all take place in? A lot of people are not too sure about that. I mean, they try to guess, and sometimes they might be right. But then again, we don't really know. We don't really know exactly what the time frame is, what the, like I said, what the time frame may be, what the placement between seasons might entail. Now, when the first Equestria Girls movie came out, it was obviously after season 4, or during season 4, when, basically after Twilight became the Princess of Friendship. It was after that time frame. So we know the first one takes place between season 4 or between season 4 and 5. We know that. We have an idea, maybe, that Rainbow Rocks, which is the second Equestria Girls movie, possibly takes place between season 4 and 5, or in the middle of season 5. We are not too sure yet. It might even be between season 5 and 6. So we know all that. We know all that, that somehow, you see, this is where it's kind of confusing, even for someone like me. It's like we don't really know exactly what the time frame is as far as each movie goes. Seasonal wise, you would think, okay, the first one has to take place between season 4 and 5, maybe season 3 and 4, who knows? Maybe in the middle of season 4, maybe after season 4, and like I said, in between season 5. You would think Rainbow Rocks would follow and be in between, or take place in between season 5, maybe even between season 5 and 6. But then you got the other two that came afterwards. The other two that came afterwards, Friendship Games and Legend of Everfree. We don't really know exactly what those could take. Well, obviously those took place between season 5 and 6 as well. Why? Because we didn't really get any interaction with the Friendship is Magic Twilight until the end of one movie, until the end of Friendship Games. We really didn't get any involvement with her until then. Legend of Everfree was kind of devoid of all that, except hinting at the fact that the magic that's been caressing around the human world of Equestria is coming from the pony world, the prime world of Equestria, the Friendship is Magic one. So the question that anybody does have, and they kind of wonder this, because there are people that are trying the hardest to come up with a consistent timeline as to exactly when the EQG movies take place, or even when these shorts take place. Because let me put it to you like this. Mirror Magic was the last and third short that came out this year. Kind of a testing ground for EQG series. And this apparently, we don't know when this takes place. We don't know if it takes place between season 6 and 7. We don't know if it takes place in the middle of season 7. We don't know if it takes place between during the movie. No one really knows. But there has to be some kind of timeline, some kind of consistent continuity, basically there has to be some kind of official timeline as to when each movie takes place. Now I understand people will come out and say, well, this is when it takes place, Brian, this is when it takes place. I mean, I understand some people might say, well, the first one was between season 4 and 5. The other was in between 5 and 6, but during season 5. But mostly in between 5 and 6. The third one took place during season 6. And of course the fourth one took place in between season 6 and 7. So I can probably understand that. I can get that. So that probably sounds more logistic. That friendship games took place between perhaps seasons, during season 6. That's what I can assume. That's what I can assume. Maybe I'm wrong. I know people would correct me. But I think the reason a lot of fans wonder about the timeline between Equestria Girls and Friendship is Magic, seeing as though they're both supposed to kind of continuity-wise coincide or coexist with each other. The reason they wonder this, the reason they wonder when each movie or each story takes place, is to find a straight consistency, straight continuity. It's like, okay, Rainbow Rocks took place between 4 and 5. We get that. Not Rainbow Rocks, but what I'm saying is the first movie took place between 4 and 5. Okay. Around that time frame, around the time of season 4 and 5. Rainbow Rocks took place around the time frame of season 5 and 6. Friendship games took place between the times of 6 and 7, but mostly during the time frame of season 6. Legend of Everfree took place between the time rate of season 6 and 7. So we could probably understand and get the idea, the gist and idea of that. We can. We can probably get the gist and idea that the movies take place around those time frames. But if the shows are supposed to coincide with each other, coexist with each other in some way, why aren't we getting any kind of acknowledgement, like any kind of reference? I mean, obviously with shadow play, we kind of get the idea, with shadow play, we do get the acknowledgement that the series are connected to each other, that the continuity of both series are, there. We do know that there is some continuity, some connection between the two if you look at the flashback in Shadow Play Part 2. So we know that, because we basically get an answer as to how the sirens were sent to the human world. We get that. But with that being the only evidence, why aren't we getting any kind of consistent confirmation? Why ain't anybody that wonders this question, wonders about basically what I'm saying is, why aren't we getting any kind of confirmation from Megan McCarthy or Nicole Dubach or whoever as to when these movies take place if they coincide and coexist in continuity and storyline and all that with Friendship is Magic? I mean, again, like I said, we kind of have an idea that the first movie takes place between season 4 and 5. Around that time frame, around season 4 and 5, like either during season 4 and in between it and 5. We know the same can be factored in for Rainbow Rocks. That takes place during and in between 5 and 6. We know that. We kind of got an idea that Friendship Games and Legend of Everfree take place during and in between the seasons of season 6 and 7. And during season 6. We get that. We have that understanding. We know that. And we kind of maybe have an idea as exactly where some of these recent 30-minute, 22-minute shorts that aired during the summer come into play. Mostly Mirror Magic, some are assuming takes place during the theatrical film. No one really knows for sure, but that's probably the best answer we can come up with. But if I was to come up with an idea as to when these take place, so I can not make this audio video too long, and I do apologize. If I was to come up with an idea as to when this takes place, when the timelines take place, I would say that the first movie takes place between okay, this is how I look at it. Season 4 and 5, between seasons 4 and 5, around that time, between the seasons of 4 and 5, first movie happens. During season 5 and between it, during season 5, and mostly between it and 6, Rainbow Rocks takes place. So during, if not mostly between season 5 and 6, that's when Rainbow Rocks takes place. Friendship Games takes place during season 6 because it's mostly centered on the human character and the human counterparts of the main 6 of Sunset and the main of Sun. Basically, Friendship Games takes place during season 6 because it focuses on Sunset and the human equivalent of the main 6. Then, as far as Legend of Everfree goes, to me, that takes place between season 6 and 7. So again, the way I look at it, first one takes place between 4 and 5. Mostly during season 4, but in between season 5. Maybe this is the way I look at it. Okay, let me confirm this again. In my opinion, the first Equestria Girls movie takes place between 4 and 5, mostly towards the end of season 4, before Twilight had the battle with Turek. So mostly towards the end of season 4, and at the beginning of season 5. So somewhat in the middle, but mostly towards the end of season 4, or probably in between. But I would assume, well, let's just say it was between 4 and 5. Rainbow Rocks takes place between season 5 and 6. I think that's pretty much confirmed. Friendship Games takes place during season 6 because we don't see Twilight come into the human world until the end of the movie, sort of in a post-credit scene. And Legend of Everfree takes place between 6 and 7. That is my opinion. That to clarify, and this is the last time I'm going to give my opinion as to when I think the timeline takes place. The first Equestria Girls movie between seasons 4 and 5. Rainbow Rocks between 5 and 6. Friendship Games during season 6 because we don't see Twilight enter the human world to the end. And Legend of Everfree between 6 and 7. That's when I think they all take place. Continuity-wise, timeline-wise, that's when I think they take place. Could I be wrong? Probably, but I think it's probably. But the way I look at it, it's the most logical answer. It's the most logical, realistic answer you're going to get. Now I know others will give their own opinion as to when they think the movies take place, as to what timeline, during what seasons these movies take place, and I don't blame them. Everybody has a right to their opinion. Maybe someone has a more legit answer than I do. But again, the only people that can really answer the question as to as to when these movies take place from a seasonal perspective, the only ones that really can answer that question are the creative staff. They're the only ones that can do that. And as far as the shorts go, I say the shorts take place during the timeline, I will agree with this, during the timeline of the movie. Why? Here's why. In Mirror Magic, Starlight says that Twilight and her friends went on a friendship mission. Now, I know you might say, well, how could that be the movie, seeing as though she was captured? Well, that's just probably the most logical explanation in the eyes of a lot of people. The other explanation is them going on a friendship mission can coincide with the ending of season 6. Get what I'm saying? The ending of season 6 could be that friendship mission they go on where they got captured by Chrysalis and the Changelings. That's probably another way of looking at it. But honestly, I would have to agree that it has to be during the movie. Now again, some people might say, well, they were in the movie, there's reports that they were captured, they were seen as being, the reports going around that they were seen as some of the ponies that got captured, and that might be true. That might be very, very true. But the way I look at it, You got to remember, the movie was in production before we got to season 6 and 7. Yes, the animation, in a sense, maybe had to coincide with season 7. Maybe they had to add in that scene with Trixie and Starlight during season 6 or something like that. I can't really say, or something like that, as to when they started doing the animation for the movie. But here's the thing, they didn't really have much of a role, right? So my thought process is they were only added in there, at least Starlight was, to kind of make the movie feel like it's that's taking place between the current seasons. But in actuality, Mirror Magic, I think, coincides with the movie timeline-wise and continuity-wise more so than just the addition of Starlight added in there by Toon Boom Animation. That's just my opinion. So, yeah, I truly believe, Eve, that it does take place during the movie. I really do. I really do. So, and you got to remember, too, these shorts were probably in post-production and getting ready to be finalized and everything, the script and everything, before the movie was released. So maybe the people behind these. Sorry for the interruption there, but yeah, basically the movie logic, the movie answer as to when Mirror Magic takes place is probably the most logical, if not the most feasible, because of the fact that, let's be honest, they could have added in Starlight during the beginning of the animation process, knowing she was going to be part of the series, to make it, like I said, coherent, if not current, with the seasons that the movie takes place in between. So that's my honest answer. I think they added Starlight in. I think anybody would agree that they probably added that scene with Starlight and Trixie during the song process. Maybe they added Starlight in during it at the last moment to make it, like I say, more coherent or more current. And so I think they just did that to make the movie seem more current between seasons 7 and 8, and that's why I think Mirror Magic kind of falls into the category of taking place between the movie. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that. I'm not really sure. Again, it could take place during the season 6 finale or before the season 6 finale. I don't really know. Again, it's up in the air, but I think the most logical guess anybody has is that it takes place in between. Mirror Magic takes place during the movie. So that's the best assumption I think anybody can give. Yeah, but overall, again, my assumption on the timelines, as far as the Equestria movies go, is the first one takes place between seasons 4 and 5. The other one, Rainbow Rocks, between 5 and 6. Friendship Games during 6. And Legend of Everfree between season 6 and 7. So that's probably the best assumption, in my opinion, timeline-wise, as to when the movies take place. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think of the timeline as to when the movies take place? I do apologize for this going long, but let me know what you guys think. Let me know down below, and I'll talk to y'all later.